Today I'm going to tell you the story about how I went to Mexico City for the first time ever, and it was one of my first ever solo trips. Now, I was pretty scared because I really hadn't been abroad much on my own, but also I was kind of feeling okay about it because from what I'd seen, generally I felt like I had handled travel because I've been traveling across the USA, living in over 30-40 cities in the last 2 years. So all the trials and tribulations and anxieties of travel, I gotten pretty good at it. So a normal person might have been scared moving cities every couple weeks. I was doing it so often that I felt like I could handle this. I could do my first international trip. So I had a short vacation, and so I decided to go somewhere short but sweet, which was Mexico City. Another reason why I went there was because I'm part of a travel creator program where they kind of teach you how to become a travel influencer. This is a program you had to purchase and buy. It's called the Los LeBlanc Travel Creator Academy. I think it's called LCA for short, Los Creator Academy. And as part of this online course and community, they also offer things like, a few times a year, you can meet other people in this program at different cities and continents around the world. It's quite amazing. So they announced that they're doing one in Mexico City, and I was like, dude, I'm so close to there, let me do it. Now, leading up to the trip, I felt kind of good, kind of torn, because I was like, I don't know much about the city. Some people, I tell them I'm going to Mexico, they say, dude, that's not safe at all. And I just didn't know what to think. But I saw other people posting videos and showing how safe Mexico City was. So you really don't know who to trust. Some people, they get their opinions from the news and they sensationalize it. And even if you tell them that to their face, they'll tell me, oh yeah, you don't want to go there. So I had a couple people, like one guy from Virginia, one guy from Florida, tell me or one woman from Florida tell me, oh, you don't want to go to Mexico City. And the lady from Florida, she was cutting my hair, and she was also had only gone to resorts in Cancun in Mexico. So you don't know what to really expect, but I felt like it was safe based off the other stories I saw. There's people like Nick Gray saying how it was pretty safe. So anyhow, fast forward, I get onto the plane, and it was one of those things where I thought I was going with this other person I met in person who's part of this program. He pulled out last second and decided not to go, so I was going alone. And so I was kind of a little bit let down about that, but nonetheless, I proceeded. I got on my flight, and I just wasn't sure what to expect. I also have back pain from flying on airplanes for too long, but I got there in Mexico City and landed my airplane, and then I was in this big airport, tons of people flowing. It wasn't the cleanest or fanciest airport, but it was efficient. I got some cash from the currency booth. I know you're not supposed to use those, but hey, this was one of my first times solo abroad. Better to be safe. What if I can't find an ATM? What if I can't speak the language and find one? So I got a little bit of cash from there. I heard they use credit cards a lot, which turned out to be true, so I was pretty good there and didn't really have to use too much cash. And I just continued on my journey, and lo and behold, it ended up being amazing. I stayed in this hotel in the middle of the city. It wasn't cheap, but it was fairly nice, and I just felt really safe. At first, first day there, I got there pitch black, dark at night, and it was kind of hard to tell, and I was scared. But then, I asked the hotel clerk, and he said, hey, it's safe. And I was hungry, so I went out. I walked about 2 blocks, found this incredible, really affordable taco place, and they just had some of the best tacos I've ever had. Guys, if you want the best tacos, get out of the US. Go to Mexico City. The tacos there were amazing. They were super affordable. It was this little hole-in-the-wall restaurant, and there was a line outside. I probably had to wait 20 minutes because it was so popular. It was just some random hole-in-the-wall taco place, but some of the best tacos I've ever had. And so that was amazing. And then the next day, I began my travel creator experience. And it was so refreshing because having been to so many places, well, mostly in the US, but alone traveling, I guess I was ready to just have a experience where some locals knew what they were doing and they could show me around, because that just wasn't really a thing when I was traveling alone. And there's a certain freedom that comes with it. You know, traveling together has its own hassles. Having done a couple group trips now, I'm like, yeah, I kind of like traveling alone sometimes, because like then you have to wait, and then someone forgets to go to the bathroom, then you have to go all the way back, then you waste another 15 minutes there, 15 minutes back, and then you have to vote on where to go. So there's a lot of stuff like that, but it was just so refreshing because I was there with a couple locals who knew the place and were part of this creator program, and they just like showed me around. Like I didn't have to worry about anything because they knew this city, and it was just so refreshing to be shown around and shown to the not just the really touristy spots, but the kind of local underground spots. And it was amazing. I was there for like another 4 days, and while we did hit up some touristy spots, we also got to travel and go to all these unique places, restaurants, shopping centers, food places that aren't as well known, and we just got to explore. And by the time I left, me and some of the others felt like we could have spent a few more days there and it would have been amazing, but that was the scheduled itinerary. And it was just so incredible. I had so many amazing food places, and the biggest revelation was I did not realize how developed Mexico City was. It was just so beautiful, so established. They had a metro system. They even had a women-only compartment in that area. And then the fact that I was with locals most of the time that spoke Spanish really just greased the wheels and made everything super smooth. I got to see all these different things. I saw the castle, a museum. I went to the Chapultepec, it's basically this pyramid place. And I just went all over and saw the city and saw how people were flowing in and out, living a normal life, like in the parks and everything. There's so many people there, and it was calming, it was refreshing. You know, being in such a vibrant city. It's actually like 3 or 4 times larger than the population of New York City. Think about that. It's incredibly large. And it was just a quick little experience and adventure, but so amazing. And I could see myself going back there. And it's just so funny because, you know, social media just gives you like a warped sense of things, you know. I saw in one video this guy, it's Nick Gray, he's white, and he went to Mexico City and he's like loving it. He's like showing you around all the tourist spots, the food, the taco places. And then I see some comments that were upvoted pretty high in his video. I think it was on an Instagram reel, and they were like, you know, get out of our city, you gringo, we're sick of tourists and stuff like that. And you know, partially that's because of the law of large numbers. His video went kind of viral, so there's just a lot of eyeballs on it. So of course you get all this range of opinions. But you know, that was online, but it's probably a different experience when you're there. When I was there, everyone was nice. I mean, there was, you know, still homeless people, but you know, I've seen much crazier homeless people in the US, and no one was like, you know, get out of our country, gringo, or anything like that. It was super smooth, and I just really enjoyed my experience there. It was super established. I even went to some cafes and restaurants with the group, and food markets and farmers markets, and I was just blown away by just how freaking established it is. Like some of those cafes could have been straight out of somewhere in Europe or the US, like an established city. It was fancy, it was decorated, it was elegant, the food was really nice. I had like eggs Benedict, pancakes, and it was just like, wow, this is incredible. And the prices weren't unreasonable. I wouldn't say they were cheap, but they weren't unreasonable. And it was just an amazing experience. They had free Wi-Fi too, and the Wi-Fi was good. It was just incredible being there. And you know, I could see myself coming back at some point, maybe even living there if, like, let's say just like life took a turn for the worse financially, and like I lost my job and couldn't find a new one or something, and then I could just, you know, pursue my dreams of travel. So I really liked my time in Mexico City. I know I was only there for a week, so you know, it really wasn't like I can't say I was an expert or really knew the city, but I really enjoyed my time there. At least, you know, this one time I went there, and I could totally see myself coming back at some point. It sucks because, you know, I have a full-time job and limited vacation, and I could probably only go on vacation, but you just never know with life how life might twist or turn. So thanks for watching, and that was my amazing story about how I visited Mexico City and enjoyed it a lot. Thanks for watching.